What do you do? What do you do in a world that wants to see you fail? What do you do in a world where you feel like everybody around you, people you know, you don't know, they want you to give in? Now, I feel so close. I feel really close right now to just going. I feel really close to just throwing in the towel. Because, to be honest, I don't feel like many people, I don't feel like many people want me to do well. I feel like, maybe I was just born into this world to be some kind of pawn, to not get valued as much as other people. I don't like to say this, but I feel this is just how I feel. I felt like most of my life I've just had to fight everybody. I feel like I'm fighting the world and up against everybody, like the odds are stacked against me. Like if I was one of the horses in a race, I'd be the least backed. That my odds would be very low. And I just feel like this is what I just have to get on with. I just have to face the fact that not many people are going to like me. Not many people are going to get on with me. Not many people are going to want to understand me. Now, I guess this is just how it is, right? It's just the system. So, where do you go and what do you do? Now, if you truly feel like people are just not on your side, people don't want to understand you. You feel marginalised. You feel left out. And throughout the years, it's been apparent that it's been abundantly clear that this is how it's been. Where do you go? Like, what do you actually do? Like, you've got two options. You either let it get to you, or you don't. You either cave into the pressure, or you just fucking try and you just get up and you just carry on your life and ignore everybody else, or at least try to ignore everybody else. Now, I just feel like maybe it's just my fate that I've got to try the hardest. I've got to try harder and fucking ignore everything and everybody. And this is just how it's got to be. Maybe this is just the fucking roadmap to how my life is got to be. I've just got to fucking weed through the fucking bushes and all the fucking, obstacles. I've just got to get over it. And sometimes you just get thrown into the deep end and you're just meant to figure it all out by yourself. Even if you've got no support, even if you know that in a few years' time your friends are going to leave you, you're going to get older, socially your friends are just going to get, your social circle is going to get smaller and smaller, where you're practically left with nobody, or at least just maybe one or two people, and that's it. And it's like you go through life and you feel as though people are gonna appreciate you. That people are gonna treat you the same way you treat them. But that isn't always the case. That isn't always the case. Not everybody is gonna treat you the same way you treat them. Life is very unpredictable. You don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. And the only thing you can do is really get used to the idea that nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is set in stone. You know, you might think you're going to meet your friend tomorrow, have a good day out, and plans might have been cancelled. You know, something tragic might have happened, and I just think that getting used to the idea of being disappointed and not having high expectations, and don't set yourself up way too high with your expectations, is probably the best way to be, because if you have low expectations and you don't get yourself too worked up and yes, this is going to be my year, or this is going to be my day, or whatever, because nothing, like I said, nothing is guaranteed. People let you down. You know, you can't rely on everybody. Even the people the closest to you are going to let you down. You know, and this is why I don't really want to be around people anymore. I don't really want to go out there and meet people, and I'm pretty much set in my way that I want to be left alone, undisturbed for the rest of my life. I don't want to speak to other people. I find it scary and intimidating a lot of times, because I just don't feel like I'm going to meet somebody who's going to treat me the same way I treat other people. And I just have my guards up high. I just have high guards up through bad experiences what I've had, and people saying, yeah, well, I'll pay you back, or I'll be there for you. And we never do. You know. And it really annoys me. It really annoys me when you think that someone is going to pay you back, but they don't. They leave you on red, or you send them a Snapchat and they don't read the Snapchat because they know that you want your money back. So we just leave it undelivered. You know, even people you think that you're gonna get close to. I've had numerous people. I've had, you know, I've been naive before. I've lent people money. You know, one was a woman in my local pub, and it was like this little circle, I guess, with someone I know, and she had her friends, and she said, "Oh, I don't suppose you could lend me money, could you?" And then there was another time, and I'm just not playing the game anymore. I'm just not gonna fucking play this game anymore with anybody. And this is why I don't really want to get attached to anybody. I just really want to I want to be miles away, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and physically. I just want to be away from everybody else. I want to be away from the noise. I don't really want to be hounded, and I don't want anything from anybody. And I don't want to give anybody anything. You know, I tell a lie. There's certain people that I still want to be there for. But generally, for the most part, I don't want anything to do with anyone anymore. I kind of just want to do my own thing. Because I think when you have the most valuable thing is your own peace and sanity. It's not money. It's not fame. It's not status. It's not physical assets. The most peaceful, I'll rephrase that, the most valuable thing somebody can have is a good, calm state of mind. And I think that's something that loads of people wish that they could have. You know? It's like, you know, I mean, I know Michael Jackson definitely wanted to be left alone more than, like, he really was. Because he got hounded every time, just like Mike Tyson, just like all other kinds of celebrities out there. And I don't think it's right. So what if you make millions? So what if you've got a good job, what people wish that they could have? So what if you're a public figure? It doesn't matter. Everybody's got the right. Everybody's got the right to a peaceful, stress-free life. Nobody deserves to get hounded. Like, nobody is entitled to your energy. Nobody's entitled to you. And this is something I think only people who go through being ignored. Like, for example, there's a lot of power. There's a lot of freedom in not many people wanting to really get to know you. There's a lot of freedom in being just a background character. And I pretty much like the fact that not many people. I mean, sometimes I miss. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like not many people want to gravitate to me, and not many people really want to get to know me. But on the other hand, I'm kind of used to the fact that nobody really sees anything in me. I'm kind of just used to the fact that nobody really wants to get to know me. Not many people really like me. And why change something that is clear as day, set in stone that, well, this is how you're supposed to live. Like, this is for you. Like, the fact that nobody cares about you, not many people want to get close to you is a sign that, you should just take the reins now. And you should just go on, just do something and just, work towards building on your peace and your loneliness and your solitude. Like, instead of changing it, try and actually build on it, and try to make it better so, when you are alone, you've got more things to do. Because sometimes it's not the fact that you don't want it, sometimes it's not the fact that you want to be with people and you want to be out there, just like everyone else and mingling. It's the fact that you haven't figured out how to properly be alone yet. You don't know how to be happy with being alone. And because you're still trying to fill this void, and you still think that you can just be alone with nothing on the agenda. And that, but I think the fact is that if you're alone, that means you can fill your time more and be more productive. And I think that is also the key to being happy whilst alone. Instead of just seeing it as, well, nobody likes you, boo-hoo you. Just see it as a way of, well, I'll go out into nature more. I'll start gardening. I'll start just doing things that only I get to enjoy. These little things, and not many people will see it as something to look forward to. But I will. Because you don't really know if until you've been through both sides of a coin, where you're alone, but you've also experienced having a vast amount of people in your life. But sometimes having a vast amount of people in your life makes you feel more alone. But actually, when you are alone, because you've just got loads of people in your life that are just ignoring you, But I just don't see you for who you are. But I don't value you. But I don't see you as an equal in the conversation. We kind of just overlook you. They don't really want to actually get to know what your week's been like. Like they see you as more of just more of a pawn in their game. You know. So, and I think that being alone for so long has got me thinking about my past experiences and my past, relationships with people, as in friends, and it's got me thinking about, was I actually valued, or was I just there for their own convenience? Was I just a pawn in their game? And it's a bit back and forth in my mind. Like maybe there has been genuine moments where a lot of people have seen me as an equal, but there's also equally been people who just overlook me, undermine me, and it's pretty much you're just a plan B or you're just a plan C or whatever. Person B couldn't come out, so I just settled for you because you're more available than he is. And when you end up just being another option, that's when you need to draw the line and you need to be like, you know what, fuck you. Goodbye. I'm not going to speak to you anymore. If this is who you see me as, what's the point of us even being friends? And I've experienced being left out and people doing things behind my back. And it hurts. It really does. So, yeah. I can't, I think at the moment, maybe I shouldn't change my dynamic of the boat I'm in right now. Like, maybe I shouldn't want to go out and meet people and fill my empty life, because I don't have that many people in my life and I don't have that many connections. Maybe I should just, kind of just see it as a strength rather than a weakness, and just try to build my confidence more with myself and just be more comfortable with being alone, and figure out a way how to be happy more in this solitude, because yes, technically humans are social creatures, but I also think that some people are more extroverted and some people are more introverted than others, where we don't desire social connection as much. It's the 21st century, and a lot of our old habits and what we used to be like, back in our caveman era, back in the, we don't really need as much socializing anymore. We don't need as many people anymore in our life as we did back then, because we're simply more individual, who can go out to the supermarket and buy food, and we don't need to work together to hunt animals no more. We're not in that survival setting. We're not in the wild. So this kind of like rules out the fact that, well, we still need to work together to catch the animal of the day so we can all have a feast. There's so many ways, right now, there's probably, more ways of being independent than ever. Like, being an independent has never been as, more of a common trend nowadays than people being lone wolves than today, because I think a lot of people are waking up who are in my boat and they're realising, you know what, these people were using me. You did use my kindness for weakness. You thought that, well, just because I was being kind, it means that I should just bend over backwards for you. But that simply, it isn't the case, right? Like, you need to live for you. Because there's a lot of people in this world who will not think twice before using you. as just a little pawn in their game of chess. There's a lot of users out there. A lot of people who just want to use you as a free ride, as a fucking meal ticket. So this way of living, you know, this lifestyle of living alone, off the grid, being independent as possible, you know, like maybe you've got your own food source, maybe you don't need to go to the supermarket, maybe you've got your own plants and cattle or whatever. Like, this way of living is so much better. This idea of being out in the middle of nowhere, just no Wi-Fi, to keep you entertained, you just read books and, maybe you've got a DVD player or something. But the idea of this connection and the fucking social media world and everything else that's wrong in the society nowadays, it just doesn't really appeal to me no more. I think that the idea of living as independent and as on your own as possible is the way to live these days. To grow your own veg, to filter your own water, to have your own water stream and whatnot. To make up your own entertainment, to keep your brain active, give yourself as much knowledge as possible. I think this is the only way to live right now. And just forget all about the fucking mainstream way of living, because I'm so sick of the people in the past who have seen me for, have used my kindness for weakness. And I'm entitled to be happy. I don't care what anybody says. I'm entitled to be happy. I'm entitled. I have a right to peace. I have a right to be left alone. And it's not my fault that nobody sees this perspective like I do. But I don't bother anybody else. So I don't expect anybody to bother me as well.